One of the victims of Friday's terrorist attack in London has now been named as 25-year-old Jack Merritt, a University of Cambridge graduate. He was one of two people killed in the London Bridge stabbing attack on Friday afternoon in the British capital. Police have confirmed the offender was 28-year-old Usman Khan. Europe correspondent Samantha Hawley has more from London.
Police have this evening said that they still don't think that the offender was linked to anyone else, although they are still investigating and making sure that that is the case, that there is no further risk to the public here in London or elsewhere across the UK. Now, they have raided the home where the offender was living in Stafford today, and of course the area on London Bridge has also been cordoned off throughout the day as those investigations continue. Let's have a listen to what police had to say a little earlier on.
Our investigative priority at this time is to ensure that there is no one related as an outstanding threat to the public. To this end, we've carried out two searches at addresses both in Staffordshire and in the Stoke-on-Trent area. Inquiries go on, but at this point in time, there is no intelligence to suggest anyone else was involved, and at this stage, we are considering that he was the attacker in this case.
Of course, there are many questions about why Usman Khan was released early. Of course, he was jailed in 2012 for a 16-year sentence, in part for a plot to attack the London Stock Exchange. Now, Boris Johnson has been speaking about that today. There is a practice in the UK for an automatic halving of a sentence once the halfway point is reached and then released. Now, Boris Johnson has said that that system is not working. He wants that changed. Let's hear from him.
We want to toughen up sentences for serious and violent offences, and I've said for a long time now that I think the practice of automatic early release, where you cut a sentence in half and let really serious violent offenders out early, simply isn't working, and I think you've had some very good evidence of how that isn't working, I'm afraid, with this case.
There was two dead, of course, and we now know that one of those was a 25-year-old Cambridge University student, a former student, Jack Merritt. Now, he was actually involved in organising the conference that was held by Cambridge University on the rehabilitation of prisoners, where the offender had attended. He first launched, of course, his attack at that Fishmongers Hall where that conference was being held. So that is Jack Merritt, a 25-year-old. His father has paid tribute to him today on Twitter. He said he was a beautiful spirit who was always siding with the underdog. So we have had confirmation of that death. Of course, there was a woman who was also killed in this attack, and three other people were injured and are being treated in hospital but are said to be stable at this stage. We've seen the incredible imagery of these passers-by stepping in and wrestling this man to the ground using a fire hydrant, a tusk that was taken from a wall in the conference centre, for instance. And we do know now that at least one of those men is also a former prisoner and someone that was attending that same conference. And again, we've had a lot of praise coming from police, coming from politicians today about the bravery of these men who stepped in, because we know that the offender was wearing what looked like a suicide vest. Police say it was a very convincing looking suicide vest. It was a hoax, of course, but these people were incredibly brave, police say, to step in and really play a vital role in stopping this offender.